let's just sort this out. Yeah, episode 3 of the Goodechip career. We are at Portugal. I'll give you a quick rundown of things in a second. So the standings, we're in 6th with 18 points. Our first race, we finished 2nd, followed by 18th at Imola. We had a really poor Imola. I made a few mistakes with being a new track, and it wasn't really good. Our teammate shown signs of improvement from last year, finishing 13th and 16th. Usual candidates are in the top 2 positions. Ricardo's having a good season so far, so it's quite close at the top. There's only 3 points separating the top 4, which it's really good. A bit different. Obviously, if you haven't watched episode 1 or 2, get them watched. Like, subscribe, comment. What else have I got to tell you? Not a great deal. The car, we don't really need to change anything at this early stage because of being very cool and early on in the season. So we will fast forward time. Do have a couple of durability upgrades.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
Okay, so I was hoping for some upgrades.
Thanks for handling.
We have to agree. Okay, so we'll fast forward time. So we do get the durability upgrades, which is good. So we'll have a quick look at the R&D screen. We've got a bit more money in the bank as well, which is nice. We're able to put that to something of use. Let's have a look and see if we can upgrade the car. Okay, so it's saying tyre blankets. Let's have a look. New specification of carbon sheet, resistive tyre blankets, heat the tyres more evenly, better preparing them for sessions ahead. As a result, overall tyre weight is decreased. It looks good. If you look at the vehicle performance comparison, we're actually halfway up that list, which is a good sign, a very good sign. It means that the car's improving somewhat, which is good. So we'll develop that. I don't think we have any more upgrades that we can do, although we can. I think we can. We don't have any R&D points, so we can't. So yeah, the aero is where we need to really focus on. That's really lacking, I feel. But we can't really do anything else. We do have a bit of money in the bank, but I'm looking to hold some of that for hopefully upgrading one of these facilities. Probably the aerodynamics. In fact, I might have a look. Yeah, it's a bit close to the bone. 5.5 million. We've only got 5.8, so I'll leave that for now and let that build up a bit more. So yeah, we'll head to Portugal. So as we're loading in, just a bit of info. I do work on Twitch as well. Currently doing a little bit of a 5-lapper series, and also race for FTR. If you haven't already, get them followed on Twitch. A really good league. I think we've got six tiers. They also have 2 Oceania tiers. We do 100% races, real performance races. Actually have a charity event coming this Friday, which will be the 19th of November. So yeah, check that out. It should be a good event. One of our drivers, FTR Chappers, his dad passed away, unfortunately. So we're raising money for a cause of his choosing, which is really cool. So yeah, I will drop a link actually as well of the GoFundMe page for him, if you wouldn't mind having a look at that. So we come to this weekend, and we have a wet quali followed by a dry race. So yeah, the race is sunny though. That's not too bad. So yeah, we'll go to the next session. We will fast forward these practice sessions. Yeah, they're just a lot quicker. Basically, you need to complete the next sort of 5. There's 3 bands of 5 which you have to get by and do. You have to try and nail them before the time runs out. So we've done the race strategy. We're on to fuel management. You can normally get most of these done. I'll try. If we can nail this, that's 7 out of 15, which is a good start on the practice session side of things. So we're coming on to practice session 2. When the game finally decides to load. It's one thing that Codemasters need to work on, and that's their loading times. They're a bit on the slow side for me. So practice 2. Get these bashed in. So the reason for the practice sessions is simple. Basically, the more practice you do, and the more sort of tasks you complete, the more R&D points you get, and the more R&D points you get, the more you can develop your car. Simple concept, but it really does help. As when you start the season, you start on a very basic car model, and it's up to you to develop the car and make it, as fast as the Mercs and the Red Bulls. One more to do. Hopefully we can get through with this one. We didn't, so we'll have to go into practice 3 to get them last 3 bits done. So this has obviously been streamed on Twitch as well, so I may slightly go off on a tangent at times to answer a few live questions that are going on. I'll try and only answer them if they're Goodechip related. So the next session, so it's the last practice session. So we'll try again to make sure we get this completed. So that's green. So the last one before we can head into qualifying, which is done fairly quickly, which is brilliant. So you'll see now when this loads up what I mean in terms of R&D points. Hopefully our teammate has had a good practice session as well. Always handy if your teammate does it as well, because that just doubles the R&D points. Doubles being able to upgrade the car, which is ideally what we want to be doing. I will at some stage show you our performance last season as well to this season, and that'll sort of give you an aspect of what's going on. And as you can see there, Callum Ilot's had a bit of a shocker in practice. He's only got 200 points, so thank you very much for that, Callum. So I think if I saw rightly, we've got a full wet qualifying. How are we doing, Sassy? That's nice. Oh, I do like that that emote. Let me have it. Okay, so we look. Oh, it's saying it's a dry qualifying now. How does that work? All right, it's changed. I'm sure that said it was wet, but I'll definitely take that because I prefer driving Portugal in the dry as opposed to the wet. So here we are, Portugal. Dry. dry as opposed to the wet. Okay, so it's only a short qualifying, this one. I might change that in the future to do full quali. I do like the full quali type of the new style of doing things. So we've put our Portugal setup on. I will go out for a short lap early doors and see where the pace is at.
When you're ready, let's go.
Here we are. What do we think of the new livery, guys? Obviously a bit different to season 1. Always make sure you put that ERS deployment to none. You don't want to be wasting any unnecessary energy. So for those that have watched episodes 1 and 2, have we got a prediction? Or a rough prediction of where we think the Goodechip car will finish in quali and race? That'd be pretty cool. So we're coming around, really like this corner. Just closes in and then you've really got to get the right angle to get in there. The whole track itself is a really good track to drive, very underrated. So the ERS goes on and we're getting ready for our first qualifying lap. Hopefully we don't get caught up in any traffic, but we could definitely do with a nice clean banker lap. So braking hard, making sure we don't run over the curb. Brake very hard for this right-hander. Nice and gentle on the power. This corner's quite tough because you've really got to bring it in just to say get away with the track limits. Hard on the braking again, going into this left-hander. And gentle on the throttle. Slight kink, followed by this is quite tough, this bit, so you've really got to nail it. And the hardest corner on this track by far. So it will spin you out. Down the hill, fast left-hander. And kinks again. A nice exit, which we've done. And hard braking again. Just missed that apex slightly. Got away with it. Brake a bit earlier than you anticipate here. And then full throttle all the way to the line. Try and get as close to this curb without actually touching it, because it will spin you. So not a bad banker. We'll go P2 just behind Perez, 1.3 seconds behind. I was kind of thinking that that would be the gap as such a pace difference, and as you see there, an invalidated time. We weren't going for a lap, but that just shows the track limits are on the strict setting. That would have also been track limits, but you can only get one per lap.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
I wouldn't say that that time that I've just done is the best in the world, but I think it's solid enough for a banker. Bring it in. This lap time, although we've invalidated, we are close on the delta. Or we were until that bit of wide running. So if this was a real lap, we would have actually marginally improved, as ourselves and Mazepin comes in the pits. So it looks like we're faster than the Williams, slower than the Aston and the Alpine, so we want to be trying to change that. We'll have a better idea when when everyone has posted their sort of banker laps. We'll have a look and see when when we get put into the garage. What do we think of the graphics as well compared to 2020? Do we think it's improved at all, or pros and cons? So you can see on the track map there, we might. Let's have a look at the times there. So Latifi's gone quicker. He's actually in the Aston Martin. For those that have been following, there's been a few driver moves. Raikkonen retired. Givo went to Williams. Schwartzman went to Alfa as well, which is a big step up for him, to be fair. And Lundegaard also went to the Alfa Romeo. So, all new driver lineup at Alfa Romeo. So everyone's times are coming in. Only 13 times have been set so far. Callum Ilott with a 17.6, so we're 4 and a bit tenths quicker than our teammate at this early stage. So we'll just accelerate that time a little bit just so we can see what everyone's times are. Just saves the channel a bit of time. So there we have it. So we're sat in 15th. So if it was a sort of full quali, we'd be right on the cusp of drivers getting through. Even though there's 22, I think it still says that you only go into Q2 with 15 cars. So time-wise, where are we at? So if we compare ourselves, so 1.7 seconds slower. Our first sector isn't too bad. I think we can get somewhere around the 16.5. That's where I'd like to be. It'd take a bit of a worldie of a lap, in all fairness. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll go out again. That's interesting that we've only done one quali lap and the tyre wear 5%, and that's an out lap, an in lap, and obviously our timed lap. So it just shows that tyre wear isn't the greatest around here, so got to be good on the tyres. We'll just have a look up above as well. Yeah, all very quick, aren't they? Sort of the top 5, well, top 7 really. There's only less than half a second in it. But that's enough waffling. I'll just make sure actually that I've put my tyre on. I have. So go to track again.
Checks
drive
complete.
out.
All personnel be aware we have a car leaving.
So this will be our second run. I don't know whether that's somebody coming out the pits or coming in. Looks like it's a Williams going out for their second runs. Hard on the brakes again. It's very easy to spin at this corner here. Excuse me. So hopefully this lap will be better, so we need to keep an eye on the Delta and see if we can get them improvements in. We're looking for a 16.5, whether we can achieve that with this car, we'll find out. few of the other teams have brought upgrades as well, so it'll be interesting to see.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
So first corner. I feel like we're going to go a little bit wide there. So it looks like we're up by coming up 2/10. That's really good. Nice and tight on the power early. We're going to run wide here. Good exit though. So 2.5 tenths now. So I went quiet slightly there to concentrate. So 16.7. That shows a lot of improvement. So we've got up to 11th. It wasn't the 16.5 that I was after, but apart from the second corner, there's not much left on in the table there. So we'll head back to the pits now. So we can gain a little bit of time there, I think, if we can and away we go into the pits. So I think we've got one more. I think we've got time for one more lap. It's going to have to be a bit of a splash and dash because I think there's only about 3 and a bit minutes left. So hopefully we don't get held up in traffic. It might work to our advantage, to be fair, because we might have might be able to get a tow off someone. So we'll have a look. Yeah, 3 minutes left in the session. Where can we get to? So ours is a 16.7. Hopefully we don't drop down into the sort of 13th, 14th region. I'd like, if we can get into the 16.4s, we've got half a chance of getting into that top 10, which for this car would be pretty good. So we'll drive out, see if we can get some space. Probably the biggest problem, and that's finding track space when there's, you know, another 21 cars fighting for position on track. We're following Gasly, which is a good thing though, because Gasly is on par with us, so as long as we keep a safe sort of distance, I think we'll be okay. It's our sort of last chance to shine. Just pump these tyres up a little bit. What we don't want to see is the Ferrari trying to overtake us, which I've seen happen before. Hopefully he leaves us some space. Whoa. There's actually a space behind the Ferrari, so I think we might nick that, to be fair. Ferrari is slightly faster. Right, so here we go, our last attempt. Hopefully it's a good one. Might get a slight toe off the Ferrari. If it is, it'll be slight. So we were up by a tenth there. Early on the brakes. Looks like we've got a tenth. Got 2/10 somehow. Must have lost a lot of time in that corner last time. Really pushing the car. And as long as we don't make any mistakes here, we're going to improve. And I think we went P10. So 3 improved laps, that's probably, qualifying wise, as perfect as you can get. Because you kind of want to improve with every lap.
We're all ready for
And maybe
tomorrow's
that's a bit
race,
of...
but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Hamilton, Bottas and Max Verstappen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
So yeah, a Mercedes lockout, which we kind of suspected would happen. Max in 3rd. Norris has had an absolute worldie there, to be fair, in 4th. And the Ferraris look like they've developed the car a bit more over the last few races, because they're sat in 5th and 6th. I think maybe that toe off, I think it was Sainz, I think that maybe just helped a little bit. Ricciardo's had poor-ish qualifying, and Perez is really sort of out of position there in 8th, so he's got a lot to do. Our teammate, where did Mr. Ilott qualify? 18th. So he's beaten both Hasses and both Alfa Romeos, which is a good sign. Only just, mind, there's only 1,000th of a second. And he wasn't far off the Williams either of Russell, so yeah, not bad. I've had worse qualifying results.
So that was an exciting
So yeah,
race
looking
from
for...
our perspective.
Oh.
Let's have yours.
You sometimes
What
get
was the
these.
secret of your qualifying pace?
No secret.
It looks like your rival bested you today, doesn't it? Appreciate your time.
The most pointless conversations. That's one thing that Codemasters do need to improve on, is you can have the cleanest of races, not touch anybody, and the first question she asks is, you left a lot of paint out there on the walls, to which you think, well, I had a fairly clean race, so that needs looking at, I must say. We do manage to get 1 over on Esteban, so in the rivalry breakdown it's all square, it's 9-all. We're nearly a level 13, which is good as well. That means that we'll be able to do certain bits and pieces a bit further down the line, but the quicker we get them done with good performances, the better. It drives our value up as well as a driver. So we go to it. So a dry race, which is good. And track layouts. Yeah, that's something that I really need to get my head around. We need to try and at least be on par with the Alpha Tauris and the Alpines and the Astins of the world by the end of the year at least, or halfway through even. See if we can really pull some development. But it's like anything, points equals prizes.
Welcome along then to Portimao, one of the busiest towns in the Algarve and a breathtaking destination that brings tourists from all around the world to the shores of southern Portugal. Today it's the backdrop for the latest round of the Formula One World Championship, and with a circuit this wide, we could be in for a lot of exciting wheel-to-wheel action today. 2.9 miles of track at Portimao featuring 15 turns, 9 to the right and 6 to the left. There's a lot going on here, a lot of elevation changes that will affect the driver's braking and acceleration. Keep an eye out for the DRS zone on the final straight. That will be the setup for a lot of today's overtaking chances. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Can I get your take on Ferrari? We have a number of changes to the aerodynamic regulations this year, and the signs haven't looked good for them so far in terms of getting to grips with those changes.
There are a few downcast looks within the team this weekend. I think they've been hit fairly hard by the new regs. But this is only the first step down a long road of development, and even if they don't maximise their points today, there are plenty more up for grabs this season.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, Ricciardo, Perez, Gasly and Daniel, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Ocon, Latifi, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Callum Ilott, Lundgaard, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Yeah, we'll try not to, Jeff. I seem to say that in every episode. Right, suggesting a 2-stop. I am not going to do that. I'm going to go with a 1-stop. I think that I've got the pace to hold. I'll just push this on a bit further. And we'll push that as far. For some reason, it doesn't let you get rid of that. Oh, it does. So yeah, that's where our strategy's at. It's saying it's faster, and that's why. So yeah, we're going to start P10, and hopefully we'll have a clean race. Before I do the race itself, in about 30 seconds time, if you wouldn't mind either sharing the page, either Twitter or YouTube, or dropping a like, a comment, and suggesting it to your friends of friends, and yeah, hopefully we have a good race. I'll just answer this one very quick message. The overcut is powerful. Trust me, I'm on season 4. Right, that's kind of the overcut is powerful. Right, okay. Well, I fancy going undercut for this one. You're probably right, and by the sounds of it, if you're down to season 4, maybe that's something to look at in the future. For me, I just think soft to hard, because I just have a feeling that a lot of the guys ahead are going to 2-stop, and I think if you looked at the Alpha Tauris, they always seem to hang out a 1-stop, and I even think that they're going to 1-stop today, so 2-stop today, sorry, so that's where I'm going with that. So yeah, here we go. Hopefully we get some points at least. Potential podium perhaps. Here we go. Lights out and away we go. We're doing this live in one take, like normal. Oh, and that is not a great start, Magoo. That has seriously compromised our race already. The car's very, very, very slow.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
We'll see how much this affects me, and I still might try and hang this out to a one-stop. Oh, okay, no. You can see there. Don't think we can hang this out for too much longer. Already rack up our first warning. Yeah, we're gonna have to box. Oh, we're not gonna box because there was a driver.
Come in at the end of this lap.
I don't really know what to do. Well, I think just go hards towards hards till the end. Will they make it to the end? "31 laps on the hards." I don't think they're gonna. I don't think we're gonna. We're gonna have to go.
Available on the MFD.
See what Jeff's suggesting.
Confirmed.
Medium. Okay. So for us now, it's damage limitation really. I think we've all but got rid of the chance of getting some points. I mean, a safety car could change things. A safety car would really help. I'm gonna have to stick to the inside here because I don't want Alonso to cut us off. So we're going medium. So we're going to be at the back of the pack for a lot of this race. So hopefully the Goodechip boys can get us in and out fairly quickly.
Go
Ready
now.
to go. 7 second stop. That's not bad for a wing change as well.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left.
So really need to
DRS
get
is
the
being
hammer
enabled
down.
this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
So the tyres don't feel very warm at the minute. So we're absolute country mile ahead. Ooh. So if we look at the delta, 25 seconds. See what we can pull in. Should be able to rein the Hasses in over the course of the race distance. We're literally going to have to drive this F1 car like we stole it. Tyres are still cold. They're very slippy. So we've already reined in half a second, I think. So we just need to keep that nice consistent pace. See a little bit of a gap forming in the field. The Alphas, the Williams and the Hasses usually sort of get left behind a little bit. Looks like Ilot's in 19th as well, so he's had a bad start.
24.1 seconds.
I'll brake ourselves again. With full fuel, it's a lot different to qualifying. Just seems to take an age to get the car slowed down. Something that needs improving in the R&D side of things. So a safety car would be ideal. Hard on the brakes. Be really careful with track limits because we've already had one warning early doors in the race. Don't really want another. I think we got 3 seconds at Imola, if I remember rightly. I don't think it cost us that much time. I think we were safe in 18th. The tyres are now up to some sort of temperature. So one of the questions that was asked is why do we do this YouTube series? There's a few reasons. I've got one of the main reasons, actually, to be fair. I have a mate who, funny enough, is more F1 mad than me. You wouldn't believe it, but he is. He's got some great F1 knowledge. So I decided to do a series last year, and that is why we're on to season 2. We spend many a night drinking beer and dissecting some of these races, which is pretty cool. I'm also streaming a lot of content on Twitch and YouTube, as you know, which again is fun,
Gap to
especially in the
front
winter.
is 21.7 seconds.
And it's just nice to be able to sort of improve my racecraft by doing these, not just doing league races. If you haven't already, I race in FTR Official. Full Throttle Racing is the actual title of the league. Feel free to add them on Twitch. They are on Twitter. I think they're bringing stuff to YouTube. They've got a TikTok account. You name it, they've got it. So yeah, drop them a follow and a like as well. Must remember to put their links on. So we're on lap 6. We're still 20 seconds behind the Haas. So we're not bringing them in as much as I would have liked. They are on the soft tyre, so that is a factor. Their tyres should be dropping off around lap 8, 9. So we're saving quite a bit of ERS here, so we're going to just use the squirt a bit more. So you can see that time now tumbling 19.7. Had the delay of the throttle there because I was going a bit sideways. So the car's still not as planted as I would like. Still snaking a bit. A bit slow through that. So the gap's down to just above 19 seconds. So we should be in their pit stop range now. I can't really remember off the top of my head what the pit lane loss is. Don't think it's too great. Some of these cars have DRS as well, so we're doing a good job so far. Tyre wear, I will have a look at that in a minute. Just onto the straight.
Gap to teammate ahead is 21.8 seconds.
Yeah, so the left hand side takes a bit more of a battering than the right, just because of how the track layout is.
The gap to the car ahead is 17.8 seconds.
So he should be able to run this tyre until about... Well, I think if we can run this tyre until... Ideally, lap 26 would be nice. And then we could have a run on the soft with less fuel. See if we can make some positions up. That's if there's no safety car. If there's a safety car, it changes absolutely everything. Tucked in nice and tight. These laps are soon counting down. We're already on, coming up onto lap 9 now. So the soft runners should be coming in anytime soon. And that will give me a bit of an indication as well to see how far the softs have gone. A little bit out of shape there. A short shift up the hill now to try and give us a bit more oomph. Heavy on the brakes. Starting to get into a nice little rhythm now. So we're just touching the 1 minute 20s, nearly in the 19s, so pace is there in terms of consistency. Just hope we can start hitting some really good laps. We've actually got the gap down to 13.7. Didn't realise how much we'd sort of really grinded the gap down, to be fair. A little bit wide there. It's always best to just be wide on this corner. If you cut that too tight, the one going up the hill, you do tend to spin out. More so with low grip. So at the back end of this stint, you really want to be taking it as wide as possible.
Our gap to the car in front is 13.0 seconds.
2 green sectors here. Just a little bit delayed on the throttle there. So 19.9, so again 3 laps almost identical really. So we're going to start short shifting when we come out of some of these slow corners, just to try and give us a bit more sort of grunt. We run wide, it's the first time we've done that in a long time. So when we pitted we were, what, 13th I think we were. Surprised people aren't pitting. 19.9 again, look at that. Really good. So we've got the gap to just under 10 seconds to Mazepin now. So this has been quite a good stint.
We've been awarded
that's
a
3
time
seconds.
penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
Didn't realise I'd had a second warning. So that makes our task just that little bit harder. So that could potentially haunt us in the back end of the race. Probably even more so if there's a safety car and it's quite close towards the end, but we'll see. Just over a third race distance. So, to be fair, that's quite annoyed me. It wasn't really that much of a track limits issue. There was no real time gained there. It's just before the pit stops as well. So this will be interesting to see where people come out. Ocon was in the pits. Should overtake Ocon, I think. Oh no, that's Russell. So I'm going to try and take these tyres as long as possible. And then go for a rapid stint at the end. Oh, we spun as well. We have spun. And yeah. That is a bit gutting. I don't really know what to do from here. Do we I mean, I guess we've
been given a
let's
10-second time penalty for that last incident. 10-second time penalty.
I'm shocked by that. It's gone from bad to worse.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
So 13 seconds of penalties. See, I can understand why they gave that track limits, but at the same time, like, come on, that's it wasn't purposeful. I don't think I gained much time from that. What's even more funny is we're still ahead of the Hasses. So in my head I'm calculating now where I can go from this. I mean, the plan really doesn't change in terms of, you know, where we need to be at. I mean, the costly thing, of course, was the damage at the start, because I don't think we would have been as far down.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
See, I don't even think we can stretch out these mediums, really. So we're going to have to go medium again.
Okay, gap ahead is 6.2 seconds. Callum is in the pits. Callum in the pits.
So Callum's gone for a very lengthy stint on the softs. He will probably still come out in front of me, I'd have thought. Not leaving the pits just yet, so we are going to pass these next 3 cars. Still plenty of racing to do. 13 seconds is a lot to give away. It's not as if you can get rid of them in the pits either. I'll be having a word with the stewards after the race. Doing a Toto Wolff. There is a yellow flag on track. It looks to be a Mercedes actually. It's Bottas. I was hoping for a safety car. That would have made it interesting. Had a box for mediums and then just absolutely sent it.
Caution, caution. Gap to teammate behind is 4.3 seconds.
Yeah. Plenty of space for Bottas to get off the track there.
Okay, clear.
So we're actually catching up to Russell, I think, on the hards. Even with used mediums, we're catching him. Okay, so the new objective is to beat both Haas drivers. And that's including the 13-second penalties that we've got. Definitely achievable. Gonna hang these out a few more laps. 17, 18. Yeah, one more lap I think, and then we will box for some mediums. Or should we wait? We wait a couple of laps. In fact, I'm going to go on to a set of softs actually. I'm going to risk it. Going to risk it in the hope that we catch them up, and then there's a late safety car, and then we can box again for some more softs. There's not a lot else we can really do. So we'll try and hang these out for as long as possible. I will change the strategy in a second. Whoops. Of course, there's use softs as well, so we're definitely going to have to take these as long as possible.
We're slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep this momentum.
So we've got a fair gap to Mazepin at least. And try and get in Russell's DRS and get him to pull us along for a little bit. That would also help matters. Tyre wear, it is starting to drop
The car
off.
behind's tyres are in much better condition than yours. We'll keep an eye on the times.
So 14 to go. So we'll go for a push lap next, and let's just see where the tyre life is at. So
The
a
car
push lap
behind
now.
is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
So the left hand side is 57%. That's some tyre wear, that.
Gap to car in front is 2.6 seconds.
Missed the apex completely there. So 19.6. It's close to being our best lap. Did use a lot of ERS for that lap though. Could we get into Russell's DRS? So probably 2 more laps. And then a short sharp burst on the softs. So it'll mean that we can really take the tyre life out of the softs as well. And try and get 9 quali laps in. Sort of hanging out a lot as well. Just if there's a safety car, then we're laughing. I don't really want to be getting lapped if I can help it. It's a big if. It's such a wide track that I think safety cars are going to be quite hard to get here. We're actually gapping the Alphas on very old tyres, which is interesting. Just shows our race pace has not been that shabby when we've kept it on track. So 10 laps to go.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
So close to that DRS. should be in DRS range now. One hopes. I don't think we are either. I don't think we crossed the detection point when we needed to. Soon find out when we come across this straight. No, we didn't. We were close.
Keep pushing. You're gaining on the car ahead.
So we're definitely boxing this lap. As we're talking punchy territory now. And the car is starting to just slide a little bit too much. So we're not going to use any ERS on this lap. We're just going to try and save it. Ooh, a little bit wide there.
Be careful. The tyres have deteriorated significantly at this point.
Yeah, I can tell. It's taking an effort just to keep the thing on track at the minute. This is probably going to put us towards the back, if not last place. Such a shame that we can't take these tyres to the end, because I probably would try. Here we go, box. So, bouncing onto the soft tyre. Such a long pit lane.
Exit now.
Oh, a little bit late in letting go. Don't think we're going to be last.
Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Blue flag.
Yes, we're going to have to let Max go. Apologies, Max. Come on, go then. It's cost us a lot of time. That it caught us at a pinch point in the at the track. We should be able to keep up with them though. We're on fresh softs. They're on very old hards. Can we keep up? I would suspect we could. Should be able to stick in his DRS at least. Quite unpopular if I unlap myself, do you think? Or not? We did get the DRS. Science is out the race. Is that a safety car? Please. So we should be catching. We've actually gone purple sector 1. So we might even take the fastest lap here. That'd be pretty cool. Tyres will start to die off. See Verstappen. Do we get the fastest lap? We do, we go fastest.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Don't really want to overtake Verstappen if I can help it, as long as he just another warning.
The gap to the car ahead is 7.2 seconds.
So Max is really struggling in the slower corners. Them horrible hard tyres.
We're trailing our teammate by 8.1 seconds.
Look at the gap coming down to Schumacher and Ilott. It's amazing how quick these softs are and how they feel. Oh, first time we've really gone sideways there. Still in DRS range, so that's good. So just use a lot of this just to catch back up to Max. So that tyre advantage that we did have is starting to go now. I think he's got DRS as well. Very excited there, I was thinking about trying to move on Schumacher. Won't be long before we try. Oh, that's ballsy. Fair play to Schumacher, he's kept his foot in it.
Our gap to the car in front is 5.1 seconds.
I think we've lost the DRS now. It's a shame. Do that battling, or have we? Yes, we have. So we're going to have to go for a super quick lap here to try and get back with Max. It's going to take some doing.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
So we should have DRS, I hope. We do. So we'll get past Ilott if we can. and in the process probably get a penalty. Yeah, a bit of a race to forget this one. I mean, it all started on lap 1, where just a little bit too eager to sort of make a good start and ended up getting wing damage. The 10 seconds again was quite unlucky. And in fact, I think the 3-second penalty was, because I was pretty sure we'd only had, at that point, we'd only had one warning, but you live and learn. So we will make sure we get the move done on I-lock this time, hopefully. Dirty air's playing a factor. So he'll be suffering as well on them older, well, just a slower tyre all round, aren't they, the hard tyre? We will get the job done this time. And Hamilton nicks the fastest lap as well. By an absolute stretch. Wasn't even close. So that's what I should have done last lap. So 2 laps to go. See what we can do.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.4 seconds.
So even with that early pit stop, we have only pitted twice, haven't we?
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Yeah, I don't think we've done too bad on the track, apart from obviously the few little errors we had. It showed that we did have some pace around here. I definitely think the one stop was on, which what everyone's more or less done. Makes me think that the medium soft strategy could work. There was a comment in my Twitch chat earlier on that said you can do soft mediums. We actually won't have to do the last lap either because we've been lapped. So yeah, there we have it.
Pick up rubber and bring it home.
Yeah, just reply to some of these comments in the Twitch while it figures out what's going on.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
So as we load into the results screen,
Mercedes are
we'll
on
have a
top
look.
form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So Lewis wins. Looks like Max with the orange boots in second, and it looks like a McLaren in third. I would probably think that's Norris, because Ricciardo started 7th. Unless Ricciardo had an Aussie wet dream and got a podium. Depends on what strats they played. I think if Hamilton's done the fastest lap, I would think he did a 2-stop. Which would be even more gutting if he has.
Let's review the
Oh no,
driver's
he's done a 1-stop,
standings.
wow.
It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Robert Schwartzman gets my vote today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Okay guys, so yeah, I was joking when I said that Ricciardo could have been on the podium. He finished 4th, so that's a really good result for him, starting 7th. Norris gained a place as well. Who was the big loser in that? It was Bottas. He DNF'd, which was a bit sad for him. Let's have a look who else. So Sonoda's on a bit of a run of form at the minute. He 12th to 8th. That was good for them. And yeah, we'll have a look at where we finished, which I think with the 12 seconds or 13 seconds. Oh right, we still managed to beat Callum Ilott. That's worrying for Callum Ilott, to be fair. But yeah, a lot to learn in there. I mean, the 10-second penalty was... I've done that twice before. Obviously, I've just done it now, and I did it at Brazil, where I caught the curb, slid down the bank, and went back on the track backwards. But the game thinks that you're cheating, even though you're not, because you're facing the wrong way. So yeah, a bit of a shame that 10 seconds cost us. And the 3 seconds again, I'll have to watch it back. I don't think at that point I had 2 warnings. I thought I only had the 1, so again that's slightly annoying as well. But you know, that's racing. That's why I'm doing this YouTube channel, to sort of get better, get more consistent. Anyone who does league racing will tell you that it's all about consistency, and you know, you don't have to do 33 qualifying laps. If you can, you know, manage tyres, manage yourself, take risks where you need to, that will win you more races than it'll lose you. So yeah, we'll have a quick look at the standings. That's me being very philosophical. We'll have a look at the standings, and we're still in 7th. So that podium that we got in Bahrain's still helping us out quite a bit in the championship. We're in 7th, so we're actually tied on points with Tsunoda and Leclerc, so that's good. Bottas is having an absolute nightmare of a season, so I think he's had 2 DNFs now, so you can almost... He's 40 points away from Hamilton already, so he's really going to have to go and do some great things. A bit further down the field, so Ocon's yet to score, as is Latifi, Russell, and the rest of the riffraff, which I don't think they're going to get any points, I must say. It might change. Haas may bring a rocket to put in that engine, and you know, kick out Mazepin and Schumacher and find the Damon Hills and the David Coulthards of the world, and get some points. But you know, that remains to be seen. Constructors quite close at the top. Obviously, Red Bull are on top because of Bottas' horrible luck, which seems to not just be in real life but on this game as well. McLaren very solid as well. They're obviously, we're in season 2 now, so a lot of their upgrades are working, and obviously they've got probably the 2 most popular drivers on the grid, I think. You know, aside from your Lewis and your Max hardcore fans, I think them 2 are really sort of well liked. So good to see, great to see, love to see it. So yeah, that's it. What I will do is I'll quickly put the highlights on for anyone that's late to the stream. How we doing? Loves a good lunge, and Radius, thanks for that, and Sassy as well, thanks for your kind comments about that race. I'll pop these highlights on, and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, started 10th. Wasn't bad at all. I just didn't really get greedy even coming into this first corner. I think it was Perez that I just nudged the back of, and that gave me yellow wing damage. I was thinking about sort of holding it for a while. You can actually see a bit of damage on the right. Yeah, on the right of that wing, and you can just see the people that are just stacking up, ready to pass. I did think at one stage I could maybe carry that round for 3 or 4 laps, but no, not a chance. So yeah, this will show the... what do you reckon to delivery, by the way? I did ask this earlier on, but yeah, drop us a comment on YouTube when this goes live. I will upload it very shortly. It doesn't take too long to go onto YouTube. You can see that I was actually trying to pit, and I think Alonso sort of cut me off at the pass, so I couldn't pit first lap, so I had to go around a second lap for my sins, and it was just a case of trying to keep it on track. Lost quite a lot of time, probably about 4 or 5 seconds. Hopefully it cuts to the spin across the track, which will give the viewers on Twitch right now and a few others the reason for the 10-second penalty. I'm hoping that is caught in the highlights package. No, it doesn't. It will. It hasn't shown that, but it will catch my overtake on Schumacher, which I was quite proud of. I think, is it round the outside? I can't remember now. Eminem once said that, round the outside, round the outside. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, so we cut to the inside, and then, in fairness, really good overtake. The grip was there on the soft tyre. And then a short snippet of me overtaking Callum. As well, just a nice little slipstream pass. Followed by running wide and getting overtaken. But yeah, there's your highlights package. Obviously we know what happened result-wise. I might even clip that that overtake, 'cause I'm quite proud of that. It was quite good. Difference in tyres, but that's it. So we'll advance from here, and we'll do a little bit of R&D to finish up with, because that will save me doing that for the start of round 4. But I'll be able to talk through when we do go to Spain. I do actually need to find a good setup for Spain, so if anyone on YouTube or Twitch have a great grounded setup for Spain, especially the last corner, then throw it my way, because yeah, it's the only place I'm really struggling for traction. So we do get a few extra points. We are now a level 13 driver, which is good. Cash is up, which is also a good sign, because we need to start upgrading our facilities. So the loading screen, we're going back to the team headquarters. So these videos are turning out to be about an hour and a half, which is good. I think by the time you've done the qualifying and the practice and bits and pieces. Oh, we have to renew a sponsorship. We'll have a look, see what we can do. So it's this one here. So we need something that's relative to us. Let's have a look. Something that's achievable. Constructors points, probably not. Complete a weekend without colliding with another vehicle. That's one that we could use, and it's got quite good weekly income, to be fair, so we might use that. In fact, we'll look at a few others, to be fair. They're all sort of 6 and 2s, isn't it? That's quite a low goal bonus, so we're going to go actually with this one up here, which I think's achievable. So yeah, we'll use that. 56-day contract. Let's have a look at other bits and pieces. So we've got all the driver perks level 2. Waiting. I think, do we sign somebody? What's everyone else's opinions? Do we sign somebody? I mean, Callum Hilot's a level 10. He's only one off Mazepin as it stands, in a little bit of a better car. So I don't know what to do really. Everyone's just so expensive, so we might have to wait for the next season for that. That you know about. 2 really bad finishes there, so 18th and 17th, and then we've got Spain, Monaco. So that's not gonna be pretty at all. No trophies, rivals we know about. That is my stats for the season so far, I think. Is it? No, it can't be. Total points 60. Yes, sorry. That equates to last season as well. So yeah, we'll advance the time. We can autofill to get a few more points.
Our new parts have
We'll do
completed without issue. They'll be on the car
okay.
ready for the next race weekend.
I didn't realise that we had any extra points there. Have we got any R&D points that we can use before we wrap up? So the flaps, which is a major, oh look at that, that's going to put us up with the Alfa Romeos. It actually failed first time round, so we'll definitely take that. Anything else? We've unlocked a few other bits and pieces. And that's another major upgrade, which is just in time for Baku, so we'll take that. As we're near the bottom for there as well. And that's it. So that's all the R&D done and everything else. Thank you for tuning in. I will get back to commenting on Twitch and through Discord and stuff like that. I've said it a few times now, but if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, commenting, getting the name out there, getting them links out, and yeah, the more the merrier. I do enjoy doing these videos. I think it's good, even from a non-racer's perspective, being able to sort of see the thinkings behind how to approach F1 2021. So we'll see you again next week, and thank you very much for joining in, and yeah, thank you indeed. Right, take care.